Has anyone else here noticed that if you sit through like a combat movie about Vietnam, like Platoon, I know if I sit through and I watch it, I begin to have the characteristics. I really do. And when the movie is over, I've got one badass attitude laying on my I do. I sit there, and my mom told me, I don't want to watch that movie when you're here. I said, why? She said, because you act like a vet when it's over with. I said, Mom, I relate to it. Well, hell, I said, because
like,
of Dad.
I just feel like you could beat the shit out of anybody after
Yeah,
watching
you could.
something.
I mean, you could go out and blow up a car and get a high off it,
Yeah.
Oh wow, isn't that great?
Oh, let's do another.
Yeah. But I've noticed it, and if I watch Full Metal Jacket, that's not as bad as Platoon. But if I watch Platoon, it's like I am there.
Mm-hmm.
Platoon is like one of the best movies I think that was made about Vietnam.
Who do you identify with?
In the movie?
Yeah, in Platoon.
Well, this may sound sick, but I would say Sergeant Barnes.
Oh, okay.
The really nasty one. Because for some reason, the first time I saw that movie, I really felt for the man, because here he is with all these scars, and he is a hard-assed veteran, and he's done 3 tours, and he's just, and you can look into the man's eyes, and know that he's got so much down inside here that he's not going to let out, and he'll never let out. The first time I saw the movie, I walked out of the theater, and I felt, probably
like
everybody else, like you had been in the bush for 2 weeks, and it was that intense.
I've been wondering about something. You guys are all kids of Vietnam veterans, and a lot of kids aren't. Have you noticed at all that you're treated differently, or you feel differently because you are the kids of Vietnam veterans?
A lot of kids, they'll be naive. I mean, I remember at 13 years old, I felt like I was 17. And a lot of kids are naive, like, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to have this beautiful house and this beautiful mansion. It's like, no, you're not. I just felt that even though I got the grades I got, which weren't that great, I felt that I was ahead of them as far as maturity was.
Like Lisa said, I feel like I'm compared to the rest of my peer group, if you want to say that. I feel older than they are, maturity-wise, because I've dealt with a lot of stuff, that they've never even, thought about having to deal with.
So it's not just the fact that your stepdad was in Vietnam, but it was the way he treated you. Mm-hmm. Is that the idea?
And my mom, too.
Mm-hmm.
With him, nobody could do anything right.
Mm-hmm.
You do something that's, good, it's not good enough. You do something wrong, you really get in trouble for it. He'd scream and holler and...
Now, he was never actually physically assaultive, was he?
Not toward me. He only hit me a couple of times. Mm-hmm. But every night, till about 2 in the morning, he would chase my mother around the house and throw things at her and beat her up.
How'd you feel about that?
Oh, I hated him. Me and my older brother, we would be up every night when we were little, and I'm talking about 7, 8 years old. We'd just sit upstairs in our room, and we have this little vent in the hallway that goes downstairs, and we'd take it out, and we'd sit there and watch him chase her around the house, just making sure that, he didn't kill her or anything.
Get up in the middle of the night, and they would be tense, and they would have to keep their eye on everything. And what they put us through, I remember getting up at midnight and listening, screaming and running through. I'm not really running, but walking really fast. Get away from me, leave me alone. I want to go to bed. And laying there and just being ready.
If you heard something,
if you heard something crash, just to get up and go
and help her out.
Yeah, and it's that protective. I'll watch your back if you watch mine. And
puts a lot of stress on you when you're only. So you got to worry about yourself, and you got to worry about your brothers and sisters, and let alone your mom. Your mom's supposed to take care of you.
Sure.
Then again, you're trying to take care of her, and it doesn't work.
How about the rest of you? Do you let it be known that You are the daughter or the son of a Vietnam veteran?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I'm proud.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not at all ashamed to say that I am.
Okay.
I think it's, I think it's wonderful to say that, yeah, my dad's a Vietnam vet.
Okay. So you volunteer that information?
Sure.
Yeah. How about you, Mary Jo? No? You kind of keep that a little quiet, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Most of the time, my stepdad was drunk when I saw him.
Mhm.
So, really, he was either passed out or was out with his friends.
Yeah, my dad, as far as triggering like flashbacks and old feelings like that, storms never bothered him. He liked storms, but if a car went down the street and backfired, you better be 10 feet away from him. And let's see, backfires, dogs barking, he hates that. And dogs howling, he hates that. Choppers going over. And I have noticed that his startle reactions have made me have startle reactions. I remember one time, me and one of my friends were walking home through this alley, and it was around the 4th of July, and we heard these firecrackers go off. And I was like 10 years old. I said, Carla, get down. And I pushed her down on the ground, and I was just getting ready to go down. She said, it's firecrackers. I'm going, what am I doing? And that was all from seeing Dad just jump, have startle reaction. I couldn't, and I wish I didn't have them because I hear cars backfire every day. But.
Did that same thing happen to your dad, Mary Jo?
We have 3 dogs at home, and when they bark outside, he cannot stand it. He'll sit on the couch and we'll be watching TV, and I'll be talking on the phone as usual, and I'll be sitting there and my dad will start screaming at somebody. He doesn't even have to be in a bad mood. He'll be in a good mood and all happy and jolly and everything. And as soon as he hears the dog bark, he turns his head, and starts screaming at somebody to let the dogs in because they're barking. And usually when he's not home, my mom will let him go out there and they'll bark at any little thing. And it doesn't bother my mom, but it bothers my dad a lot. And another thing is cars backfiring. We'll be driving, he'll swerve the car because of it. And he's just really jumpy, and he doesn't like cars that they don't even have to be very far behind him, and he'll pull over off the road and let the cars go because he feels really insecure.
It's like, now I have noticed I have gone up to people and said, yeah, my, we'll get into conversation about, like I'll say I volunteer at the vet center, and then they'll say, oh, really? Tell me about it. And I'll tell them, well, I work there, and my dad's a Vietnam vet. And he is. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And it's like you become an icon to these people. It's like, wow. And yeah.
3 weeks ago, I went and I applied for a credit card.
A credit card?
Yeah, and like
A
a week
credit
ago,
card.
I got a telephone call, and they asked me a few questions, and then like 3 days later, it came in the mail.
And how old are you?
16.
16 years old, you got a credit card.
Gee.
God bless America.
No, you'd be like everybody else. You'd be in debt.
What?
With the $250 limit.
Yeah. So Monday I went and used it.
Fix my car.
Anybody else here got a credit card?
No. I have a Broadline card.
You had a what?
Broad launch.
I'm
A
bored.
broad box. That's the county has $5.
Monday, my aunt from Arizona called, the one that was in the car accident.
Oh,
and
yeah.
has a little baby. She lived with us during the summer for a while.
Right.
She called, and her husband, Joe, hit her again.
Really?
She warned him that if he told her that he was going to go to counseling,
Yeah.
and that he was going to get help for all of his problems, and basically just lying to get her back down there.
Huh.
And so she called us Monday and told us that he hit her again, and she moved in yesterday. She flew in, and she's living with us again.
Good. Okay.
So she's like looking for a job, and she's going to stay. She'll probably be at our house for 6 months, maybe.
Let's hope she means it this time, huh?
I really wasn't sure what I was going to be doing when I first started out. I mean, I initially thought I was just going to be here for, you know, a couple of times to help out with that theater project you guys had planned. And so in my life, I haven't, you know, had a, you know, the you know, the ideal American family. So, and I can understand. I mean, I have problems of my own. This whole Vietnam thing, they don't know how to react to it. It's something that that they didn't go to Vietnam, so they don't know how to feel about it. Kind of a background where
But you've kind of implied from time to time that you've had pain, you've known pain,
yeah,
and that's probably the, you know, the major thing that keeps us all together.
yeah.
We've all had our pain. It's a common denominator, but
Yeah.
and we speak with you know, nonverbal language quite
Yeah.
strongly. Would you all agree with that? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We may have different things that inflict the pain, but the pain is pretty universal.
Yeah.
Okay.